I've got another quote. This is one of my favorite quotes. Not because I love it, but it's a good quote. It's just a good quote. It's a good starting place to talk about leadership. So this is John Maxwell. Love John Maxwell. I've got 5 or 6 of his books. He's got like 100 books. There's no way I'm going to read every John Maxwell book. They're not that good. Sorry, John, but they're not that good. But they're good collections of information and good things to kind of pull from. So I'm thankful that he's kind of put these collections together. So here's the quote. Leadership is influence, nothing more and nothing less. Now, I used to believe this for a while. And then when I started to really break down leadership, especially make it in such a way that it's very accessible, that could really action on, I changed my opinion about this. And the reason is I believe manipulation uses influence. So somehow manipulation would then need to be leadership, by, I'm not a mathematician, but whatever the law is, I think it's a transitive property that if A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. Well, I can tell you right now, leadership is not manipulation, but I would definitely, because, if leadership equals influence, I would dare say you would have to say influence equals manipulation, but leadership does not equal manipulation. Therefore, one of those things is not true. And I would say leadership is not equal to influence, and influence is also not equal to manipulation. What I would say is influence is the mechanism that leadership uses. It is neutral. It does not matter if it's good or bad. You can influence somebody good. Think about it, a bad influence. So normally influence, I guess, is good, but you can have a bad influence. Well, a bad influence, what is that, John? Is that leadership? Is it bad leadership? Bad leadership, I would call manipulation. Or I would say inability to earn influence. Or I would say it's inability to spend influence. That's bad leadership. And maybe I need to come up with a name for them. I think I have, the first one's a manipulator if you don't have a vision. If you can't earn influence, I guess you're just, I don't know what the term for that would be. But the third thing, if you can't spend influence, you're just too altruistic. This is a good chewy topic, but it's not true. It's not true. Leadership is not influence. Leadership uses influence. Now, I would also say, now this is the conviction of my belief on this topic. I believe leadership came first. Then manipulation came about it, and influence exists because leadership exists. And it's very weird to say that, because if you stop long enough and you think about it, that it's like if the common denominator between the two is influence, therefore influence had to come first. I would say no. I would say influence works because people believe in leadership. The natural way that people act, the reason because they become influenced is because of leadership. I would also argue that people can be manipulated because leadership exists. That's why they can be manipulated. That's why people can be influenced, because leadership exists. But it is not the same thing. Or it is, it doesn't matter. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm trying to slice these very fine and try to create real fine, tight categories. It's a very rational approach to it. But if you just kind of smear it all together and look at it kind of the big level, yeah, John Maxwell's quote is good. And it's good enough. And John Maxwell's trying to make things real easy, and he's making it real easy for people to just kind of jump and step right in. So I very much appreciate John Maxwell for that.